9 to 5 is bullshit. Unpaid lunch breaks are bullshit. Working all day and going home to have 2 hours of free time before bed is bullshit. 5-day work week is bullshit. Working yourself to death is bullshit. Retiring at 65, unlikely, is bullshit. Starting your adult life in debt from student loans is bullshit. Giving kids 7 hours of school and then homework to ready them for the never-ending grind is bullshit. It is so frustrating that we have one chance of life on this earth and humanity chooses taxes and credit scores and pollution instead of floating around in the ocean all day eating fruit and hanging out.
I'm gonna tell you 2 undeniable indicators that you've likely experienced burnout. Are you ready for them? Number 1, you exist. Number 2, you've had a job. If you meet those 2 conditions, well, congratulations, you found yourself in the plus 50% of people who have experienced burnout in their lives. Now we can all relate, right? We all, understand each other. We get the idea. Now let's talk about it. Because burnout has been affecting people for a long time. And I think even more so with younger generations like my own. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And we're not here to just talk about why we feel this way. We're here to share experiences of people suffering the same pain as you, of working a 9 to 5, a 7 to 3, whatever ridiculous time schedule that it is. And the truth is, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what job you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're doing a labor job, if you're sitting at a desk, if you're flipping burgers. It really doesn't matter. Because either way, the feeling is the same. Overworked, underpaid, and sick of this bullshit. Now, I've got a lot of examples to show you. I mean, it didn't take long for my wife to find, 15 examples that we narrowed down to just a handful that we're going to talk about in this video, because it is such a widespread sentiment. But first, I want to talk about myself just for a moment here, because I've experienced burnout, because I meet those conditions, right? I'm alive. I've had a job. I still work a job, not a full-time 9 to 5. I do freelance and I make YouTube videos and all that. But I also run like 4 YouTube channels on top of doing my freelance work. So whatever you got to do to make these ends meet, man, because boy, does it beat working a 9 to 5 or working for the man, even if I am technically putting in more hours and working every single day of the week. I'd rather be doing that. And that tells you a lot, because I like my sitting around doing jack fuck all nothing time, which I don't get a whole lot of that working 7 days a week, as you'd imagine. But up until literally just a year ago, I worked a full-time gig just like many of you watching this video. And I was burnt out after just a couple of years after college, which I graduated in 2021, I believe. Man, that was 5 years ago now, almost. And I'm already burnt out. Isn't that crazy? It took that long. I mean, how was I expected to do this for 40 years? I mean, come on. When they're moving the retirement age to 70, excuse me, for who? Because, that ain't gonna be me, Big Cheese. That ain't happening. I ain't retiring at 70, and neither should any of you watching this goddamn video. They think you're gonna retire at 70, you give them a big middle finger and tell them to fuck off. And I'm sure that's what a lot of you probably want to do, but the reality is, it's not that easy. It's not that easy at all. It's almost unrealistic to think that you might be able to retire at any point with how the economy in the world is going. It's so much more difficult to make a dollar go as far as it did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, shit, even 5 years ago. And that's just one of the heavy burdens of this terrible work-life balance, financial struggle that all of us are experiencing right now. And so no wonder we're burnt out. And I know some of these old heads just say, oh, you younger generation, you're just lazy. You don't want to work a job. Nobody knows how to work anymore. You should be grateful for your job. And it's like, dude, what did you have to do besides go home and scream at your kids every day? Us younger generations got a little bit more ambition, more of the world that we want to see, more things that we want to do. It's hard to justify wanting to spend so much of your life at some workplace working for some big corporation that couldn't give less of a shit about you and replace you on a dime, replace you with the computer, for instance. It's hard to justify wanting to do that and spend so much real estate of your own life towards that, but we'll go into all of the painful details on that later on in this video. But for now, I want to talk about an example. Now, I know this is likely a clip that you've already seen because it came out almost about 2 years ago now. So it's a little bit older. And this is gonna be the oldest clip that we talk about. Everything else we're gonna be talking about is very recent, but this one, it just really puts the message in perspective very quickly, and the emotions there, and it's circulated all across the internet. I mean, this video has millions of views, and big creators like Penguin Z0 talked about it. I mean, her pain here was so relatable and such a big deal that people couldn't help but to reciprocate those exact same emotions, those same feelings, and really connect with the message here. So I want to show you that to get things started.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to like meet like a guy? I don't know. Like, how do you have time for like dating? Like, I don't have time for anything, and I'm like so stressed out. And I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional. But like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
And this is literally why you have completely out of touch people saying things like, oh, just be a trad wife, just go have a man do the financial stuff for you. And that's a whole rabbit hole in and of itself. I mean, there's videos coming out nowadays about this like trad wife regret trend of like, hey, it kind of sucks not having my own financial freedom or an ability to leave my cheating asshole partner. So, you know, might be a solution to some people and others maybe not. Also, she talks about like how things would be better if she could work remotely. Now, yeah, that is a luxury that some people get access to, and it does make things a lot better. That's true, because you don't have to commute. I mean, you're in the comfort of your own home. And yeah, remote work can be a solution for many. It might also still be a problem as well for others, depending on how the remote work is run, because some companies like to watch you like a hawk and still treat you like you're in the office, and that is no better. That's still very toxic and painful for your mental. But it helps in many cases. And I'm not going to go deep into the whole remote work concept, but legitimately, it's so shocking to me that there's still so many companies who would rather you commute 45 minutes to an hour to come work in their center at their business location when you could definitely just do your job at home. I mean, I experienced that myself as a technical writer, and I was like, I could literally do 90% of my job at home, but they won't let me. It just doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. I mean, they believe this silly idea that you're gonna get less done if you work at home. Bullshit. Since I've been doing my freelance work from home, I've done significantly more efficient, more motivated work than I ever had when I was going into the office. But you know, that's a story for another time. Either way, her pain is very real. It's the not having time for your fucking self. You get one life as far as we're concerned. And these big corporations and these assholes want you to spend so much of it, so much of your real estate working for them, spending time around people you don't give a shit about and you have to pretend to like, rather than your own goddamn family, or doing your own hobbies or things you actually care about. I mean, I feel that nobody should just be treated as a number, a money printing cog for their machine. But that's what the vast majority of us worker bees are, sadly. And they couldn't care less about your work-life balance or you being able to actually enjoy your fucking life, the vast majority of these companies. And that is one of the biggest reasons people are feeling this heavy burnout.
I came to the realization a bitch just don't want to work. And don't. I hate it. I don't know how people can sit at a job for working 8 hours a day. I don't even know how motherfuckers could work 40 hours a week because I hate it. I literally hate it, especially working for somebody else. Like, if my job offer VTO, we'll be taking it quickly. I don't care because I don't be having the mental capacity to sit at somebody else's job for 8 hours a day. I don't. I have very low attention span, and half of the time I just don't be paying attention. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to work 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. I can't.
Now, the reason I'm showing this clip is it's one of the first to show like your own mental capabilities, right? Not all of us are cut out for the typical job schedule. And I don't just mean the 9 to 5, but the whole concept in its entirety. Coming to some place, sitting at a desk or behind a counter or whatever, and doing this repetitive thing every single day, something you couldn't fucking care less about, for some asshole who couldn't care less about you, right? And that's your life, right? Many of us, including myself, are just not really cut out for that type of lifestyle. I mean, that's why so many people have turned to content creation, though it's the most competitive battleground ever. It is so unbelievably difficult to make it as a content creator, even if you are creative, even if you put in the work, even if you try your best every day, even if you offer something new, unique, and exciting. It can still be a struggle. It doesn't matter how passionate you are, no matter how hard you try, it's still extremely challenging to ever be self-sufficient as like a content creator or somebody who does their hobbies as a job. Like if you like to crochet and make things, like I had friends that made things, artists, etc., who kind of get by, but that's why you get the term like a struggling artist, right? It's really difficult to make it in professions that you cultivate on your own. If you're not signing up, signing your contract, your life away to the devil, and by the devil I mean a big corporation, then financial security is a long shot. It's a dream that you're gonna be chasing at best, and you might get lucky. And that's the problem, because there's so many people out there who can work like a regular 9 to 5, never complain, feel fine doing it. And that's great. That means that type of lifestyle is for them. I mean, one of my best friends that I went to college with, who checks in on me and my content creation endeavors, he says, I could never do what you do. I'm happy to just work my 9 to 5, right? To just show up, do the same thing every day, get my compensation, rinse and repeat. And there's plenty of people like that. That's why the burnout only affects so many people. But even then, the burnout might still affect them if the work-life balance isn't all that great, which is the case a lot of the time. I mean, many of you might know this, you might not know this about me, but I'm a writer, right? I've been writing books since I was in high school. Now, I've technically written like 3 finished books, even though I'm really only selling and promoting one of them, which is this bad boy right here, by the way, The Elevator Man, which is a fantastic read. And if you want a copy for yourself, should be able to find it in the description. And if you want more details about it, more so than what's written on Amazon, leave a comment and I'll tell you more. Anyway, the point is, some of us, there's a lot that we would absolutely pour our hearts and souls into if it would turn around and give us a way of living our lives. But the problem is, that's just unattainable for most of us. Now, this is the only clip in here like this that we're going to talk about, and it's just going to be very brief. I just want to mention this because the burnout extends far beyond just working. It even can happen in like taking care of your own children or motherhood and things like that, because it can be extremely exhausting. And sometimes you need a little bit of a break from your little demons, your little angels, not demons, right? Not demons, little angels. But seriously, the point is, sometimes even a mom who stays at home and takes care of the house, takes care of her kids, that's a full-time job in and of itself, which I know many people refuse to believe that. But it's the truth. Kids are a lot of fucking work. I'll be honest with you. If I had to take care of kids by my goddamn self, as opposed to, working, I'd probably be just as burnt out, if not even more burnt out. But you're not allowed to be burnt out with your kids, obviously, because they're your kids and you gotta take care of them. But imagine how much easier it would be if you had ample time off, both parents, and you could actually co-parent more often and take some of the stress off of like your stay-at-home mom and things like that. But that's also not the reality we live in.
Hazel is in a really hard stage right now. She honestly cries like half the day.
She wakes up crying. The second I try to put her down for anything, she starts crying. I lay her down for her nap, she starts crying. I lay her on her changing pad to change her diaper, she starts crying. And it's honestly been so hard. And I just feel so guilty. The rotation that Caden's in right now, he's gone like 5:30 to 8 p.m. He like doesn't get a day off. I'm just so burnt out. I just really need a break. Anyway, thanks for listening to me crash out. I have to get ready because we have to go to the library.
So you heard what she said, right? That I think she was talking about her man or husband, probably 5:30 to 8, I believe. That is a long schedule. That brother is gone from the house. That means she is literally taking care of these kids full fucking time, as well as the home. Yeah, I can imagine you being burnt out. That it's sad, and you can't be. You're not allowed to be. You can't just be like, you know what? I'm taking a break from the kiddos today. You guys take care of yourself. Here is a knife. This is how you turn the stove on. Go ahead and make yourself. You can't do that, right? It can't happen. And I think this is often overlooked as well. You're like, oh, you're just at home. You don't have a job to go to. What are you burnt out for? It's like, have you ever taken care of a child 24/7? Probably not. And you probably don't know how exhausting it is. I mean, when the husband comes home, do you think he's like, all right, my turn for the kids for the rest of the night? Because it's a 24-hour commitment. They're waking up at 2 a.m. They're crying and puking and shitting, you know, and you got to deal with that. She probably barely sleeps. She's probably lucky to get 5 hours a night, if that, you know? And you can't take naps, really, because you take a nap and the first thing your kid's gonna do is wake up and either set themselves or the house on fire. I have never been a parent. I've been around plenty of children, so I know how they're like, but I don't know. I can't say that I've experienced what she's experiencing, but at the same time, I can feel her pain through the screen. It's very clearly there. Now, this is some crazy shit my wife told me about. Showing up to work on time but being treated as though you are late, and then being berated by your superiors for not being early enough. Apparently, they've found this way to completely bypass the boundary between work and your at-home life, where now they think they can invade the time that should be allocated to you and your freedom, and even strip that right from your bones. It's disgusting, but apparently this is more common than you'd think.
8.
I'm not late.
8:50?
My work starts at 9.
Yeah, you should have been here at 8:15.
8:15? Definitely always be clocking in by 9, as agreed upon.
You are late because here in this office, we measure it by commitment, and you weren't here, so you were late. Every second counts here. That if you are late again, you will be terminated.
Okay.
I'll see you in the next call.
Okay.
Bye.
I mean, need I say anything? Because that face says it all. I guess I'll just make this one comment. Who told you to start working for the she-devil herself? Clearly that was not the move. So she here has invented a new term, the Sunday scaries. Now, I knew what the Sunday scaries was before watching this, but not by name. And it's because my wife gets the Sunday scaries all the time. In fact, she gets the Saturday scaries. Basically, it's you dreading Monday the week ahead of you because you're so exhausted and you want to have some fucking time to yourself, but you're not allowed to. So what ends up happening is you are fearing the rest of the week as Sunday comes. My wife, it starts on Saturday. Honestly, it probably starts when she goes home on Friday, but irregardless, it's the same idea.
2 years into working my 9-to-5 job, and this is awful. So you're telling me I'm having the Sunday scaries every week to dread 5 days of my life, to then be rewarded with a little thrill on Friday, but then be so tired from working that I pass out at like 10 p.m. Live for Saturdays, love them, but really that is only one full day of fun, because Sunday, have a great Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon rolls around and I have the Sunday scaries and I'm dreading my life for the next 5 days. I went to college for 4 years to be stuck in this cycle. What? No, 2 years is enough. So I'm on TikTok and I'll be promoting products and posting my way out of this god-awful cycle. I cannot settle for a life of dread, especially if they want us to retire at 70 now. No. I'm going to be using the internet because I see people making a fuck ton of money on here, and you can be making a fuck ton of money by creating digital products, selling those, and then promoting products that you didn't even make. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm going to be doing to get me out of this god-awful cycle, because I cannot take another second of it. Happy Sunday.
I mean, right on. Exactly. The Sunday scaries. I mean, I guess I even experienced them too, now that I think about it. I mean, I was experiencing the Wednesday scaries, thinking about the upcoming week and how I'm like, how am I going to survive that next week? Like, I can't even finish this one. You know, I get it. It's awful. It's atrocious. And there's no shame in anyone trying to find something better for themselves. There's a reason why this sentiment is so unbelievably common. Why all of us, most of us at least, are like, I can't do this anymore. The work-life balance is atrocious. It's criminal how horribly workers are treated in like the United States. Now, obviously, there are some places that treat their workers better. Like you've got like many Nordic countries who have shorter work weeks, longer vacations, and are just treated better overall. But many of us are not afforded that wonderful luxury. And we have to continue fighting this corporate bullshit for our pennies that they award us at the end of the day. And we don't have a choice because you stop working. Well, guess what? You're homeless now because who's going to take care of you, right? That's it. Like you lose everything. You lose your home, you lose your car, you lose everything if you don't go to work, right? You have to go to work. And you have to find whoever will pay you enough money, and that's already hard enough as it is because let's not even go into that whole conversation about inflation because that'd be an entire video in and of itself. But just to briefly touch on it, inflation's going up, cost of living's going up, and yeah, your pay's probably going up too, but not at the same rate. Do you know how much more it costs to purchase a house now than it did like 20 years ago? You know, you got all the old heads flexing like, oh, I had a house at 22 years old. You know what I mean? And then we're over here like, yeah, I may not be able to afford a home until I'm 40, if I'm lucky. And it's not because we don't work hard enough. It's not because we're not working the highest paying jobs. I mean, some of us are, some of us aren't. And it's because things have gotten so expensive that the goal that you would normally have by your mid-20s has now been pushed into your late 30s even. Some of us can't even afford to have a child if we wanted to, right? That's something my wife and I have been on the fence about, and one of the reasons that we are definitely saying no is because we couldn't fucking afford it. We don't have the space. We don't have the time because my wife works a regular 9 to 5 and I'm constantly making content, doing things like that and doing freelance work. And so it's like we literally wouldn't be able to if we wanted to. And it's like we'd have to somehow find a way to get into a position just so that we could if we ever wanted to. And that's something that many people are facing. They're like, oh, I want to have kids, but I can't afford to have a child. And they wait until they get older and older. I mean, it's one of the biggest reasons why the average age of having your first child has gone from like 20 to 30 in recent years. It's shocking, to say the least. And here's another kicker for you. For some of us who do freelance work, even though, you know, we get to be at home or maybe even enjoy a little bit more of our lives, there's also another big trade-off. We don't get fucking insurance here in the United States. I'm type 1 diabetic and I don't have insurance. So I don't even get to go to a doctor because I would rather not go to a doctor and not have insurance than go work a 9 to 5 job. Like, that is a decision I had to fucking make. And I really chose to forego my insurance and have to take care of my own diabetic health completely by myself without the help of a doctor, just so that I can somewhat enjoy my life more without having to work for some asshole who couldn't care less about me. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm some type of financial expert or a guru or anything like that, but I think I speak for all human beings when I say that this shit is unacceptable. We need better work-life balances for your average person. Your average person shouldn't have to turn to content creation just so that they can enjoy their hobbies and enjoy their lives and enjoy being themselves. You should be able to do that working a full-time job. And what that should look like is working less goddamn hours. Why don't we have 3 days off instead of 2? It's ridiculous. The truth is you become less efficient the more you fucking work, right? Even in an 8-hour day, you're probably only spending 5 of those hours actually working, maybe even less. So if they sent you home 3 hours early, you probably get the same amount of work done, damn near. You know? But in reality, these corporate fucking cuckheads don't give a shit about that at all. They've somehow convinced themselves that keeping you hostage for that entire time and giving you a 30-hour lunch or 30-minute lunch break that they don't even fucking pay you for is like a kindness to you. It's like, let them eat cake, you know, throwing a little bone to the peasants while they'll grovel at their fucking corporate feet. It's a sad world, a sad capitalistic reality that we live in. And that's no world for a fully sapient human being who has their own thoughts, opinions, emotions, needs, and wants, in a life that they want to live, that we are being barred from living because of corporate greed. And speaking of corporate greed, we have another creator here speaking on her feelings about this bullshit.
I'm really burnt out, and I feel like I'm on just the brink of breaking down. So I think I need to quit my job effective immediately. And that's really hard because I feel like a failure. I feel like a failure because I know I do my job so well, but it's so hard when I'm working in a toxic environment. And I'm one person doing everything, and there's just so much going on in just organizational corporate politics that I just think I need to take a break. And I just haven't, because I've just gone from job to job and I've never given myself a break, and I've just been working all day, all night. Like, if I keep on working today, I'm gonna be working until like 3 a.m. and then I have a 4 a.m. meeting. And then I have to work until like 5 p.m. with back-to-back meetings straight tomorrow, basically, and I just don't think I can do that. So I think I need to just finally do this for myself, which feels so scary because I feel like a failure.
First off, let me just say this girl is a lot stronger than me, because if I was facing the same challenges that she was, because trust me, my work-life balance wasn't like that, wasn't nearly that fucking terrible. But if I had the same choices, I would have chosen the homeless route. I would have gone homeless before committing to that kind of life. I couldn't do that. Not a chance. I don't have the mental capacity to do shit like that. It's not in me. It's not there. The coding is missing entirely. Okay, 404 not found, not here, not present. But what she is experiencing, it's not like this is just some extremely rare one-off case. There are many people that experience things just like her. I mean, even my wife, she had to work overtime a lot when she was the only person doing her job, and she was fortunate enough to get another person doing her job with her eventually, after she was like, hey, this is too much for one person. But never to the extent that she's experienced. I mean, this is a very real breakdown. This is pain. This is pain in its purest form. And even if you don't experience things the same way she does, you know, to the same extreme, we can all relate. We can all relate to that need of just, I want a fucking break. I need some time to myself. I need to not go into work for a little while. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get that break due to like a medical leave, which I won't talk about in detail. But after I came back, it was like, man, that was fucking nice, you know, despite it being a medical leave. My wife, one of the best times of her life was after she broke her wrist while we were on a little trip. She broke her wrist falling off of e-scooter, electric scooter thing that they have in certain cities. And she fell off one, broke her wrist, had to have surgery, and was out for like 3 months. And yeah, the first like couple of weeks were atrocious because she was in so much pain. But when the pain became more bearable, she was living her best life, you know, despite having a pretty messed up wrist. Because she didn't have to go to work. She could actually enjoy all of her hobbies again. have time for herself. I mean, it was a great time for her at the, you know, and it sucks. You got to break your wrist or get a serious injury or something just to get a little break. And this poor woman here who's crying in front of us, she's not getting a break. How's she going to get a break? Right? Unless she goes and breaks something, wink, wink, like she's not getting a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not happening. And even if she did do that, there's times where people have had injuries and they've been off on leave, which is supposed to be job protected leave. Like, you're supposed to be able to come back afterwards without them firing you. Many corporations will just say, screw you and go get someone else because they need someone to fill that work in right now. And then they won't accept you back. I've seen that before. Okay, first off, I apologize to this creator for picking this absolutely horrible frame to pause on before talking about him. I'm sorry, dude. I mean nothing by it. We're about to just see a couple of crash outs, just two, before I want to wrap up my thoughts on this whole bullshit.
What the fuck are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't fucking like, but we can't really quit because we gotta get the money to pay the bills that they say is important to pay. What the fuck is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the fuck did we pay for life? Well, that's just the way it is. Fuck you. I'm tired of all this "that's just the way it is" bullshit. This whole fucking system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big ass fucking plantation, man. A big ass fucking plantation. What the fuck are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the fuck is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna fucking live to see 50.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do. Let me add another perspective here. You've been working for 20 years. You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money, to profit you in an economy that you created. You could sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life working just to barely be able to pay my bills. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years. You tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
My brothers and sisters in Christ here, tell it like it is. Tell it like it is, because this is the truth. This is reality. This is not the world that we created. This is the world we inherited and the world that we are forced to live and suffer in. And so much of it just comes from these greedy, gremlin, nasty goblin fucks at the top of the corporate ladder who just milk all of their workers dry. Absolutely work you to the bone for their profits, for their gains, for their billions of dollars, just to sit in a bank account and collect dust, because money is everything to them. That's it. That's all it comes down to. I want more money for the sake of having more money. I mean, look at Elon Musk, just committed to just being the richest person on the planet for no reason other than just being the richest person on the planet. And that means treating his workers like shit, not paying them enough, not giving them enough time off, treating them like fucking insects. In the meanwhile, all of us down here, all of us little peasants who just pick up the scraps from all of their hearty 15-course meals and Great Gatsby parties, we pick up the scraps, right? We shoulder all of that shit on our backs just to not even be able to afford the lives that we want, you know? It's true. Good luck living on your own on a one income in this economy. It's almost impossible. For most people, it's almost impossible. If you don't have another person to help you pay the bills, good fucking luck. But anyway, that's really it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll see you all next time.